Hello, hello. Let's hope this is working now the way I expected. Perfect. Yeah, I'm afraid, Nuno, you are still not visible, and I have no idea what to do. Okay, no, I put it as you as a moderator, so hopefully now you will be visible. Yeah, that worked. That's my pleasure. So, sorry guys for the mix-up of the timing. I think I used the wrong template. And this is what happened. Okay, so maybe 5 more minutes. So I'm here just in case, don't worry. The screen is not frozen. I will just put the whole setup together as always. I put the charger just in case. So I hope you're not getting seasick when it happens. I put the second screen on. This is the second time I'm trying today, to be honest, because the first time didn't work. Okay, I think. Okay, yeah, I think I'm in. Perfect. You can grab something to drink, relax. Just checking if you can hear me without any problems. Because if yes, I will switch off the computer and we can continue. Okay, that's very good. Hello, Ilona. Hello, Lori. Perfect. I switch off my computer so it's not taking too much of my Wi-Fi. I have my tea, which is important. Okay, one more thing I need to bring here and we are going to start. Yeah, he's just jumping in for a moment, Ilona. I think he's going to watch from the other room because... Hello! Hi, guys! I always explain that in our house it is pretty interesting how we deal with the Wi-Fi connection, because we are in the middle of the Irish countryside in quite unpopular part of Ireland, because this is not very close to any bigger city, and that means I'm on the mobile broadband, and sometimes my rowers get overwhelmed. And hello, Ilona. And that's why when we are doing some kind of live streams, I just kick my husband out of the room. So he's going to take his phone, his laptop somewhere else, and he can use Wi-Fi from the other rower. And this way we are not overwhelming the system. We are not getting stuck with the connection. So this is helping a little bit. And that's why sometimes I remember the first live streams we were supposed to do on Facebook. Excuse me. And I think the software was not really good yet, and the connection was breaking a lot. Now it is much better. It goes smoothly. So that's why he is in the other room. And we are going to start in a moment now. So welcome and thank you so much for coming. I prepared in advance. So I was thinking it's going to be quite cool and interesting to compare two or even more maybe ways of creating patina effect on your project. So we will be comparing the results you can get with the matte waxes and with the set of the patina paste. So I'm going to talk about this kind of paste as well. I've got rust paste here as well because it's the same family. So you're going to get that information. Hello, Karen. Karen is here as well. So you're going to see what is the difference when you apply one or the second one, which one is better for your project, because in fact patina effect or rust effect, they are quite popular in steampunk style or in vintage style, and sometimes you keep wondering which one is going to be better for you. So this is going to help. That's why I prepared a little bit in advance, and I will show you, of course, what is done here. But I prepared two very similar canvases, and it's going to just save the time, and we will compare the results we're going to get with the wax and we're going to get with the patina paste. So you're going to see maybe the advantages and disadvantages of each of the methods. And we have on my table patina pastes. So for those of you who don't know how it looks like, this is the set that consisted originally in a package from two acrylic pastes in the patina green, patina blue color, and then metallic brass copper color in one set. You can buy it in one package. And then, just in case if we want to break that color palette, I also took the rust paste. So I'm going to show you that and explain what is the easiest way to apply it, what to do with it. And then I've got my matte waxes. I've got patina blue and patina green, and together with that we can use brass or copper wax just to keep it all the same way. So we have two projects. We're going to prepare them together. We're going to apply, and I will also give you some tips and ideas on how to treat your art mediums and what are the most key information you should have on them. If you have any questions during that process, of course, I'm here to answer, and you know that I love interacting with you and I love answering your questions. And just quick note that tomorrow it's Monday, so Monday evening of my time, I'm going to do the lucky drawing of the goodie bags for patrons of 25 and 50 euro or more. So I will give you a head up on Facebook that I'm coming with the giveaway, and I hopefully will be able to tell you what is the surprise I prepared for you, because this month I decided to make special surprise, and it's going to be something different, and hopefully by tomorrow afternoon the thing that I wanted is going to arrive. If it's not going to arrive, it's going to be on Wednesday, I hope. So I have it all organized, a little bit of mystery, but I'm waiting for delivery. I was hoping it's going to be delivered on Friday, but it didn't happen. And then I was hoping it's going to be Monday, but looking at the tracking is hard to tell, because they only messaged me that they changing the shipping place, and I didn't really say where it is. In fact, maybe it's already in the in Ireland or not. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Okay. No. Today is a very interesting day, to be honest. It's a lot of things happening. So, are you guys... Oh, Anya! You started... Okay, you came before I even started. Perfect timing. So, guys, I think we are ready. I have these just glued down, so I will show you exactly what is in here. And then we're going to prepare it to work with the wax and to work with the patina paste. I'm going to tell you more about both of the products. Okay, so I'm so excited you are here. And I will switch my camera to the right position. You can admire my lamp now for a moment. Oh, great. Okay, that should be it. So, patina paste and waxes. These are two ways of creating effects of imitation of patina or rust on your projects. And they are two different art mediums, so it's good to know which one is going to be better in which situation. I have also the focal points here prepared. And I was telling you that for complementary color for these two matte waxes, I would probably recommend either aged brass or rich copper. So these are the colors which are naturally coming together with the patina. So this is brass and this is copper. So they get this patinated look in the nature. And for the for looking at the set, of course you can use the waxes together with that or acrylic paint, but the set looks like that. You can do quite a lot with the patina effect, but if you'd like to prepare your project for either the paint or the wax, you have to prime it first. So what I did just before we are going to start, I took some canvases and I decided to use them as a shadow box. And this texture I made here, this is one of our techniques from the beginning of the month. So tapping into modeling paste. So I took one of my palette knives and I was just tapping the modeling paste on the edges. I wanted to hide the staples. I didn't really like the staples. Well, Firebird is also a good option. Ilona, we can use Firebird. And then here they are the embellishments which are glued with heavy body gel. And here I also use some of the hot glue because I wanted the wings to be really in good position. As you can see, they're tilted, raised a little bit. So I also secured that with the bit of the hot glue just in case. And that is without any primer, without any gesso. I decided to keep the focal points because I have these mechanical clocks glued with the heavy body gel, as you can see, hopefully the gel, yeah. I'm going to stick them after gesso. It will be just easier to go with the brush around. And then we were going to apply the product. So let me just take any kind of gesso. Because we're going to change the color completely, we can use clear gesso, black gesso, white gesso, it doesn't matter, whatever you have on hand. And I'm going to prime 2 of these at the same time. I have palette here. It's still in the colors from the previous project. So you can see I was doing something in green color. And I've got clear gesso here on hand. It is easy. And, you know, priming is important, especially when you're going to use some kind of paint that is not sticking too much. And when we were talking about texture paste of different kinds, I said rust paste and patina paste are in fact more like paint than paste, and this is very true. They are similar to acrylic paint, but they have some gritty finish. So if you want to get the best results, if you want the products to stick really nicely, you have to remember if you have slippery metal or plastic, it's always good to start with a bit of gesso. And I'm just doing a very quick run with the gesso, and it's going to be transparent one, but we plan to do a lot of rewaxing and repainting. So it's really up to you which color you're going to use. I have this clear one on hand, and I'm using that one, but it could be white, it could be black. Okay. So you can see this is just one coat without trying too hard. And I have some projects here with me as well. Okay, it seems to be fine. To show you the result we are going to go for in both of the situations. Okay, so one is ready to dry. I'll just put it here next to the fireplace so it will be dry in a moment. What is the weather where you are? In Ireland, the nights and evenings are getting really cold. Today it's going to be around 3, maybe 5 degrees maximum. So we had to start the heating in the house already. So Andrew is putting the fire in the fireplaces. And we have nice and cozy, warm room when we go to sleep, which is important. Because I can't sleep with my feet cold. It is really, really hard for me. You had hail? Oh my god. That is really bad. Like, hail is not nice. It breaks a lot of things, and you have a lot of damages in the garden as well. We had strong winds. And now it seems like the weather is definitely changing into autumn. So goodbye, beautiful summer. But I'm so, so happy I was able to go to the coast before the warm days finished, and I had my deep in the ocean. I had a good swim in there on the coral beach. It was lovely. And I didn't get sick, which is great. I didn't get cold or anything. In Sweden, you had 23 Celsius. Oh my god, this is not fair. Well, Oriana, Panama is always warm. My god. Yeah, this is so different depending when you are. Like, I would love 24 now, but it is not going to happen anymore. Not until springtime. But I can't believe Sweden is so warm. Oh, that's really lucky. Well, Nunu, you are in the warm country. I remember going to Barcelona in October, and even November, it was still very warm. Well, I wanted to live in a cold country, so I live in a cold country. I should not really complain. So you can see putting the coat of gesso was very quick. And let me show you now what you can get with the full coverage of the patina paste, okay? There's a project I keep teaching for like 3 years already, and this is a very good example how you can use your patina paste. Oh, you're a winter person. Well, it is coming. So look, I'm trying to show you the texture here. This paste is gritty. It has some sand in it. So you are able to get results which are imitation of the crumbling patina that is collecting on the top of the deteriorating metal. It is especially important with the rust, which is naturally quite gritty. And natural patina may be flat, or it may be gritty depending on the metal it is on. So in the projects like that, like this one, it is patina poetry. That means you can feel these sandy textures in some of the parts. And you can see here why it is in fact not so important to put tiny, tiny details. Because if you're going to use, for example, mini art stones or micro beads, and later you're going to put this patina paste or rust paste, the natural grit of it is going to cover that anyway. So my first suggestion when you are working with the patina paste is to keep the details quite big. Because if you have big elements, if you have nice visible textures, they are going to be okay. But if you put something tiny, like you put microbeads, for example, they may completely disappear in the paste. So that would be a waste of your product anyway. Yes, I spoke with you about California. I was talking to one of the patrons on, I think, Friday, and she's in California, and she said like it is hot, and then the fires making the heat even worse. So this is not going to be a good thing. So I feel very sorry for you guys there. Oh, yeah, I love the warm colors of autumn as well, Oriana. This is great. I just love how nature is changing. This is so inspiring. So you can see what I'm trying. Yeah, air quality, I can only imagine. I was reading a lot about Australia and the fires in the beginning of the year, and now you get the same thing. This is terrible. So we are going to check our patina paste now. I'm going to show you how it is in the jars and what you can do to make it better if you feel this is too thick, okay? So this is important. Remember, when you are using patina paste or rust paste or the cousins, which are called texture fantasy, they have a lot of sand in it. However, they are still, in fact, acrylic paint. So this is interesting mixture between paste and paint. And that's why I would not say this is a texture paste. You use it more like a paint than anything else. So before I started, I opened my jars from the drawer and I checked the consistency of the paste to see if it's liquid enough. And it was a bit dry. So I started adding water to it and I just mix it and stir it. And now I have a really nice and liquid consistency. So people are getting frustrated because this product tends to dry quickly. And it is true. You have to close it tightly. You have to check it from time to time. And every time when it happens, if you see my colors are getting too thick, don't be afraid. Just add warm water to it. It doesn't have to be any special water. It may be just tap water. And then mix it, let it sit together, mix it again. This is the easiest way to keep your product safe, and it's going to last a long time. The same thing is for the rust paste. People keep it closed and they forget to check it from time to time. And then situation is not good because it is trying to dry up. So we are working on the solutions, how to solve that problem, because people keep forgetting about it. And I have some ideas, but so far, two things I have to recommend is adding this from time to time. So fluid acrylic medium, you can use it for adding the more liquid to your acrylic paints as well. So this is the base of the acrylic color, so you can use it in your pastes. So that is good because it's even better than water. It's keeping the moisture for longer. But if you don't have that, you can use just the tap water. Also, what is important, you can just go with what is on hand. So, but it's good to add that one from time to time. So this is solution that I have. And if you are leaving your product for a long time, you're planning not to use it for many months, close it really tightly. And some people, they put a little bit of the shrink wrap and then they close it and put it in a bag so the minimum of the air is going through. The problem is, because it's gritty, all these little pieces that are drying in the lid are in fact allowing the air to get into the jar a little bit. And we keep forgetting about it, of course, and we think, oh, we close it tightly, but still, it is possible. Yeah, hot water is very good solution. And this is just good option, right? You can try these, but the reality is, no matter what you have, is it acrylic paint or is it paste, it is not going to stay wet forever. The hotter and drier the places, the faster it is going to dry. So you have to check on your art mediums from time to time. If you have problems with matte wax or any other wax, they usually, people were saying, oh, these are too liquid. they were saying they are a little bit too wet. So you can leave them outside and let them dry a little bit. But if you finally get to the stage when the waxes are getting too dry, you can revive them with the oil paint thinner, so turpentine or turpentine equivalent, something that is used with oil paints. And this is the right solvent for this kind of product. I read some very strange suggestions on the forums yesterday and today, and people, I think, were confusing the pastes with the wax because they were suggesting the fluid medium and they were suggesting glycerin, which I don't think is going, they are not going to work with something oily. So for this, it's like oil paint. For you have to add something that is going to thin your oil paint. So turpentine is the right item. There are also some odorless versions of turpentine now, and you can try that. But honestly, I never had my wax dried yet, so I didn't have the chance to try it. But maybe I should, just for the sake of trying, just to try to, dry it up completely. So let's look at our project. It seems to be almost dry. And here a little bit. I will stick my middle in both of the places. I'm going to use combination of the hot glue to fill that empty spot here. And then I'm going to put a bit of gel medium as well, just to make sure everything stays in place. Where's my heavy body gel? Hello, heavy body gel. Here it is. And we are going to do the application of two different products. Come on, go there. Have you tried both ways? Do you have your favorite way of doing it? Like this, for example, Yeah, transparent wax works too because it is something which is similar and more liquid. This is very good point, Nuno. Nope, not yet. Okay, heavy body gel to secure it. And we can start adding our product. So there are many ways of doing it. You can start with just painting using these colors and then try to honestly add the metallic finish at the top, or you can put the metallic first if we go for the metal imitation, and then really and then put the patina just like it is in the natural situation on the roof, on the old metal pieces. In fact, I have my frame here, and this is original patina that happens in real life. So I decided we are going to do two ways. On one side, we are going to start with the patina effect, and we are going to put the touches of the wax or the paste on the top. So it's going to be heavier patina. And on the other one, we are going to start with the wax, and then we are going to add the touches with the patina waxes. So this is going to be two ways of getting the results. Okay, so let me now quickly finish the painting with the clear gesso so everything sticks nicely, and we can go to application of our paste and our wax. Stay there. Have you got any questions about how to store and how to take care of the patina paste? Because waxes are usually not causing too much trouble, but I know the pastes, they are sometimes surprising for people. They think they're going to last forever if they're just going to leave them alone, which is not true. You have to give them a bit of love. You add matte medium to both and stop drying. This is what Oriana said. I don't have matte medium, I use fluid medium. This is the same thing, just this one is probably thinner, so it takes a little bit less to get the results we want to get. Quick drying. And here, quick drying. I put it next to my fireplace, so it's going to dry. And we are going to start here. Yes, I know it is not possible to have your paint last forever, but people hope it is going to happen. And this is kind of disappointing when they find their favorite product completely dry. So let's start with the waxes first. And I would say waxes will be better when you want to see more of the detail. You would like to have more crisp look, or you have your textures, your elements, which are having a lot of fine details. So because this is smooth, you can get better tiny bits and pieces visible. This is an example of imitation of the patina paste I made with one of my pocket watches, and this is texture done with the patina paste. So you can see if it was very detailed, for example, that there was a lot of tiny flowers, it could be possibly lost. So I would say it works better for the bigger projects or the ones that are in the need of more dramatic look. So I didn't put any textures intentionally. I didn't put any art stones or anything because I wanted you to compare the natural look of both of the elements. So I will start with the metallic wax first. I'm just going to wax everything. I'm going to use aged brass and rich copper just to make some variations. And then when it is dry, we are going to play with the patina. Okay, so you're going to see how this one works. I just find a brush which is bigger. Maybe even bigger. Okay. And I can start with waxing. Of course, you could do the same thing with acrylic paint, right? Because it's no problem to start with acrylic metallics and then go with the waxes on the top. But once we are working on project comparison, let's just do full wax on one and then full acrylic on the second one. I have Patina blue matte wax and it has leaked from the container for some reason. It is very liquid. Yeah, what happened there, we had to add special pigments to it so it leaks. Try to cool it down or leave it open overnight so it will dry a little bit. Sometimes I noticed some of the first fresh ones, they are very, very liquid. So you don't worry, this is going to dry like any other wax. You just have to have a bit of patience. And you can just let it dry like this in the container. You can't use acrylic over wax, but wax over wax is okay. Exactly. Wax over wax, it's one of the most popular techniques. It means you just need to give it a moment to dry, like maybe 5 minutes. So the bottom layer of wax is going to set. And then once it is set, then you can add another wax on the top. I'm just starting general with the general color everywhere. So that's why I took a big brush. And then I'm going to do details with the smaller one. It's just going to be faster this way. So now we create the imitation of the effect that everything here is done with metal. So you can use your waxes or you can use your acrylic paints, whatever you prefer. There's good combination of the colors in my range, but any metallic acrylic which has the right color will do. But it has to be dry before we apply the matte wax. Yeah, with waxes it takes a short moment to color. So it is not long waiting time. Some people prefer them to acrylics, but honestly, I think acrylics give you more of the technique options. Waxes are easy to use, but they are very limited when it comes to technique range, if you know what I mean. That you can only rub them in layers, or you can get the full coverage or buff them. This is it. You don't get too many options. But with the acrylics, you can water them down, you can try, make drips, you can splatter, you can use them almost like watercolors. You can try to use them with the stencil and create some texture, while waxes and the stencil will give you only very, very flat results. So, you know, I think waxes, however beautiful, are much more limiting when it comes to, oh, look at this, I have to fix it again. When it comes to techniques. So some people are okay with that. Some people just prefer to use acrylics and then maybe finish with the waxes. Okay, so now we need to work on the background. I'm going to take a smaller brush to get into those details, to get rid of the white. So I just try to give more or less steampunk color palette. With the paint paste, you also get texture. Exactly. Let's get some old brush that I won't be sorry to use. This one is not fresh anymore for sure. And now I can go into the deeper layers with the wax, so everything is going to get covered nicely. You can see that with the wax, even the texture of the canvas is highlighted. So this is what they do. They are so detailed and so smooth. Or the textures which you have on your project are going to be clearly visible. So if you do jewelry or something very precise, very small, I would say waxes will be better for you because you're going to get more detailed results. However, with the acrylics, yeah, the technique range is better. Oh, one more place I missed. I used two colors together just to make the color of the background a bit more interesting. So this is not just one tone, it's just changing from one to another a little bit. But this is the only reason. It's not like you have to use 2 or 3 waxes together. Yeah, took 2 more minutes and I should have that ready. Some parts are quite stubborn, like here, the side of this mold. I have to get there with my brush. Now I started to regret I didn't make something smaller. But it would be nice. 2 different looks on very similar canvas. Okay, I need smaller brush in here. I'm the person with the selection of the dead brushes. This place is really annoying. This one, this one. Okay. I don't have to go too deep because once I finish, I can do some nice textures with micro beads or mica flakes. But I just hate seeing like a lot of white. So that's why I'm so anal with all these details. Okay, that should do. We have it ready. So I just keep these in case if I put if I put too much of the patina, because it may also happen. And now we can let it dry a little bit and we can work on the other canvas. Almost dry. Let me just dry it a little bit. Here we are going to start with the paste. So it's going to be the opposite look. The paste and the patina colors on the bottom and then the metallic on the top. The canvas with the wax will be opposite. It's going to be metallic on the bottom and patina on the top. Let's just dry it. I just found another spot that I missed because, of course, there are 4 edges of the canvas. This is not a big surprise, but this is what happens. Four, not 3. Okay, that's better. Here, it is good to have big old brush as well. This is the result we are going to get, this one. It's going to be patina first and then maybe a bit of rust or a bit of the metallic. So what I usually do, I take a palette and I take 2 brushes which are quite old, and this way I can apply the paste quickly and in a quite efficient way. So I've got 2 old brushes here. One is really vintage, really nice. Then I take a portion of each color and I close the jar because I don't really want my paste to dry too much. Surprisingly, this is well pigmented, just like impasto paints. So a bit of the paste goes a really long way. So it is not like you have to use the whole container for one project. And now you use it more or less like acrylic paint. You just dab it wherever you would like to get the color. So I'm just going to put it in that way, but because it is not so flat, not so smooth, it's easier for me just to dab it on like I'm doing now instead of painting traditionally. So I start with one color, mostly on the outsides and on the embellishments, and then in some other parts I'm going to put the second color. They are going to mix with each other just like acrylic paints do, so you can get really nice tone-to-tone results. However, you have to do it quickly before the paste was going to dry. You don't have to apply it super thickly, but if you look what I'm doing, this dabbing is going to create quite of the texture anyway. So now if we want the blending of the colors, remember you have to do it when it is wet. You can even help with your finger, so it's like natural effect happening instead of waiting, because then you're just going to repaint just like you do with acrylic paints. It has to be wet into wet. And if it's wet into wet, it's much easier. Just look. Now I'm getting like, I'm getting like middle tone in between, right? But if it's dry, it is not going to mix anymore. It's just going to look blue, and you can repaint it into mint green. So all the results of blending, they have to be done when the paints are wet. This is just like with the acrylic paints. I seem to always screw up rust effects. What happens? Like, why do you think so? Like, you don't like the result, or you are maybe not confident with the application? Ah, you're heavy-handed. You know, when you want really grungy, it's not a big deal, really, because this is what it is going to look like in real life anyway. But if you want to make something delicate and you are not getting great results, maybe you should try wax instead, because then it is going to keep you a little bit more light-handed. If you know what I mean, you are just going to limit the amount of the product you're putting on. I'm trying to get these like tone-to-tone colors. I'm just trying to make it a little bit more interesting. So this is not going to be only blue or only green. I try to get some of the depth in here as well. And now you can see I keep getting that paste out of the palette. Now I can feel I need to add some water, and this is important. Hello, Mia. Good to see you. Water is important because it also dries on the palette, and that means if you want to get your application done quickly and efficient, you have to refresh the paste on the palette with the water. You will feel it, like it is not getting too smooth anymore. Then that means, well, add some water. That's why I have spray bottle here all the time. So we started at 6:15, so you didn't miss that much, my dears. We are making 2 canvases, one with the waxes, one with the pastes, to compare the results. This one is too small. I need something bigger. This one is going to be bigger. So I sprayed here. Oh, it's a big lump. I sprayed here, and I can see I don't have enough of this green color. So I take more. And now I can apply more. You will also notice that blue paste has different texture to the green one. I just wanted to give different feeling to 2 of them to make it more interesting. But in the end, formula is the same. So green is more gritty, blue is more smooth, but they have the same formula, which means they are going to dry fast on you. Oh, look, it's getting drier. You add water, okay, every time. You were wondering if it's the first canvas or the second. In fact, I keep working on 2 canvases at the same time, so I'm making 2 backgrounds. I just finished the background for the waxes, and now I'm doing the background for patina. So you are not missing too much. And this is also like with acrylic paints. I'm going to show you that in a moment. Once you start creating layers, once the bottom layers are dry, you are able to paint over that with another color. So you can use it for your advantage as well. So now I'm just trying to get everywhere as deep as possible. But if you get some white spots, don't panic, because we are going to work on that in a moment. So please stay with me and don't think too much about the white. I know some people, when they get to the stage of painting like that, they just try to kill all the spots which are not perfect. And this is still moving. I have to put more drying in here, but it's okay. Now switching to the green. trying to make this green interesting everywhere. And we're going to give it a moment of drying, and then we will paint the second time, because this way you can get more interesting effects. And this is the same thing that applies for rust paste. Rust paste is probably one of the most intriguing effects I created so far, because it is so much like paint, yet it looks like a paste. Now, I keep the brushes in the water just in case, and now let's dry it. The paste dries really quickly. Yeah, I do spray with water, and you are going to see why. Another ugly brush I need. Oh, I missed a lot of spots here, and you didn't tell me. I'm going to paint the sides of the project later. So now you have to forgive me, it is not perfect. You're going to see how you can fix all these bits and pieces in the next step. I just try to dry the focal point as well. So now, it's like the first layer. So we have some parts blue and some parts green. It's really up to you how much of each color you want to get. So once it is dry and you want to fix the colors, like you want to add more, you can just repaint, because it's permanent, just like acrylic paint. So you can either decide, oh, I've got too much of this blue here and I would like to lighten it up with the green. You can see what happens. I'm able to brush this green on the top quite easily, right? So this is one of the ways of changing the look. You can say, well, I prefer more light color, and then you can just paint it on the top like you would do with the acrylic paints. And this is going to cover, because it's almost like impasto with the gritty effect in it, right? So you can now fix if it's too much of the blue. It's one of the techniques you can use if you are not happy with the final painting. Usually you don't get the best results in just one step. You want to have at least 2 steps in painting to get nice effects. Second is the water, okay? Water is going to help you take the paste into those spaces which are hard to get, and you can use the brush and the sprayer to move it into the right position, if you want to call it this way. So for example, here I would like to add more of the blue. So I put the blue into those spots, right? And I can even spray water on the top. So the water is going to make it flow, just like we do with acrylic paints and the texture. You know what I mean? Water is taking that into the right places. I'm just checking if I have, oh, here, for example, look, right? There's a white spot. And here, and I will spray the water. The water is going to take it into desired places. Does it make sense? Stay. When you have 2 layers, it is already getting more interesting, better, more natural looking as well. So it is unfortunately a bit of patience to get it to the look that you will like. One coat is not enough. Oh, here's another spot that I missed. Yes, the green paste, it's much more grainy than the blue. This is how they were designed to give like variety of the effect. So you can have it more gritty or less gritty depending how you want to have it. Oh, here. Perfect. Okay. So I would always paint 2 times. It's not like I leave it after first painting. I know the water makes huge difference and it helps you to get more natural looking and better blending. Because when I do the class, when I apply rust paste and patina paste at the same time, blending is crucial and you have to do it quickly. So you work in sections and you rub the rust into patina. Here, I'm just using patina colors. So I'm now dabbing the colors one on the top of another. And I'm using the water to help them blend with each other. Okay? So I think this background is almost ready for our coloring, our touches. And of course, it has to dry perfectly. Maybe a tiny more bit of green. Remember, when you are doing any coloring with this paste, it is gritty. The same for the rust paste, it's gritty. So use ugly and not very precious brushes, okay? Don't use your best brushes because it is going to kill them anyway. So it's much better if you're going to use the ones which are very old and later, remember, once you have them used, put them back in the water. So no paste is going to kill your brush. That looks nice. I just give it a moment of spraying so everything is going to blend nicely. And it's ready for metallic effects, but I will also show you a bit of rusting on it as well. Have you got any questions for the application of the patina? I would say 2 steps is minimum to get nice coverage with the patina paste. I would say 2, and the second one includes water, right? And then you get really nice textures and you're not going to lose too much of the detail as well. So if you feel that you are heavy-handed, try to break the process into 2 smaller steps. So put 1 coat, dry it, make it permanent, let it breathe for a moment, and then apply the second coat, fixing the problems, blending, playing with the water and using the paste in a more delicate way. Yeah, green is naturally lighter color, so it will be natural to get that on the top of the blue to show more of the dimension. That's, I think, natural. So what happened here, you can see I created a darker point with the blue on the embellishments, and then the green is bringing them up a little bit. But the metallic is going to do the job anyway, okay? I think my cat is trying to break in and she can't go. Sorry. Shay is so frustrated. we have a cat flap. So the cats can go into the studio when they want. And sometimes when the dogs go through it, because they are much bigger and fatter, they block the closing by accident. And then the cats get frustrated because they can't walk in. Yeah, like now she is so happy. She's just around me now and trying to say like, oh, I'm finally here. Yeah, don't forget about the frame. Yes, I can do video on the Rust paste as well and give you some tips, of course. And if you feel that you're heavy-handed with the Rust, a lot of techniques I'm showing you now are going to apply to the Rust paste as well. So it will be easier for you maybe to do it in steps instead of trying to get the result right away. Because I think people get very enthusiastic with the application sometimes, and then they are a bit worried that the details are lost, right? So this is really happening in some cases. So you are not alone. I use the paste more like paints instead of paste, to be honest. Yeah, you know, this is, you can think about it, it's really something between paint and paste. So you can use the tricks you do with the acrylic paints to make the results better. That's why I would not say this is texture paste. This is more like special effect, and it really behaves like very gritty, strange kind of acrylic. So now I want to have you a closer look to see how much of the texture is already here. All that is going to dry in a moment. So if you had some tiny bits and pieces, that would go under the texture of the paste, and that would probably disappear. Yes, if you put a lot into the corners or under the embellishments, it's going to be so crusty and beautiful. So I put it now to dry, and we come back to the first project. So, for the ladies who joined us a moment ago, we are planning to do 2 results. This is almost the same canvas, which I already waxed with aged brass and rich copper. Okay, so these are the colors and the mixture of 2 on this canvas. Okay, I just check if there are any spots which are super annoying, and I used mostly this size of the brush for the details, but I'm looking for something like, you know, I can't stand anymore, but I think it's almost okay. Of course, you can also do this step with acrylic paints, and if you have metallic acrylics, for example, you have some nice shades of copper, some nice shades of brass, you can do that with these. But if you do it like me and you struggle to get into some parts, no worries, because we are going to do finishing touches with something that is going to cover that. And there will be no harm to the project at all. This is the one that I'm supposed to glue down, but I forgot. I have the texture fantasy paste, but I struggle to know how to use the other colors. I'm okay with the Rust and Patina, but not the others. Yeah, they are more as a fantasy colors, so they're supposed to give you textures, and you just use your imagination. And what I would suggest, I would use 2 colors as a background and third color as a highlighting one. So this way you have something to work with as a highlighter. And of course, you can just use a tiny bit of one color. You can even ignore it. You can only use 2. So that is more for creating fun results. And they were supposed to be inspiring for people to create effects on the projects, or even dubbing them like a texture paint into some parts. I hope that makes sense. Oh, the one with the purple and extra light blue. Yeah, Northern Lights. It's really, really cool. So now, we have the background. It's either wax or acrylic paint. It is metallic and it is permanent. We are going to get the result, which is more similar to what we see here. Very fine, without any grit, right? And in fact, this result is more similar to the natural patina. This I used on the photo, but because I wanted to show you how the natural patina looks like in real life. So this is brass. On the brass, it is collecting everywhere. But the more you touch it, the more you rub it off on some parts of your project. So, well, project or your frame, because this is a metal frame. So if you want to get the results which are the most similar to the natural, we need to push this color a little bit deeper and then selectively leave some of the metallic without any change. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We can go from here to here, maybe not exactly this look, but quite similar. Okay, so you can even see this color is very similar to the patina that will be happening on the brass. So now, again, 2 ways. Brushes or fingers. I would start with a bit of brush and then finish with the finger. And then I also have my baby wipe if I need to take it off a little bit. And I will take clean brush now and start with a bit of this green. You can see it here. So now we are going for this natural look of the patina. We can, of course, introduce a little bit of blue as well. Let's look at this side first. I'm just brushing with the brush, not doing too much. And we can compare it to the natural look of the patina that happens in real life as well. Oh, come on, stay in one place, thank you. First of all, what you can see, it is not covering completely. So it's already similar to the natural patina. I know that you want to move, so I will hold you with my finger. No mercy here. Stay there. Of course, you can apply them in many layers as well, but I would suggest to do the same thing as with the paste. Put a bit first, and then you can always add more. Okay, I just rubbed randomly with the brush, right? Oh, I really missed that spot. Go there. And this is like almost like the same. This is more blue, of course, this is more green, but the semi-transparency, it's happening already, right? So you can just leave it as it is. You don't have to do anything special. You can leave it and just say this is finished. But we can play when the wax is still wet, and this is important, and you can clean off to reveal more of the natural color. So this wax is going to help you you can just remove. This is one of the things you can do. So make it thinner. That's super easy. Like anybody can do that with the baby wipe. Or the other option is you still have these waxes, right? So you can put another coat in case if you feel that you are missing something. So I will just continue with this green. And I'm really trying to push it inside of the details so it looks like it is old. And this is the closest you can get to the natural looking patina, which happens on the furniture or the household objects. Like I have some antiques at home, but well, they're not antiques. Well, they are antiques, but they're not expensive antiques. It's not like they are super valuable. They're usually worn out and not so beautiful as some of the objects people have. But I love that they have history. And I would never clean off this natural patina from my project, or sorry, from my plate or my pot, because I think this just looks beautiful. Like for me, this is beautiful. So this imitation we are doing now is honestly is good enough to convince somebody that the object is really made of metal. So that is something that you can do at home and add really convincing antiquing effect. Not really grungy. It is more on the soft and delicate side. So it is really up to you how much you want to put in different places. You can play with that, of course. And again, once the wax is dry, it means it is permanent. So you can always put more wax on the top. So that's why I could easily put that wax on the top of the copper wax and on the top of the brass wax without big problems with application. I'm just going to do more here. I know you don't want to stay here. I understand that. So what we are getting now, it's like somebody left this object made of brass or copper for a long time outside, or just didn't clean it at all. And this how natural patina happens. And now, if you want to get more dramatic results, if you'd like to see more of the dimension, you can bring back the details either using the baby wipes and trying to clean off like I was showing you, or you come back to your waxes, which are metallic, and you intentionally highlight with the finger. For example, now we're pretending somebody was touching these details a lot. So the finger removed the patina in some parts. So you can think where people would touch it the most, right? So maybe corners, edges. I would say probably here. Of course, it is easier when you have completely dry matte wax, because then you can, there's no blending. at all. It's just one on the top of another. I'm absolutely proud of this product, I have to tell you, because it is the best imitation of the natural looking patina that is on the market, I think. And it is, there's vintage patina as well, but it is more for painting. I played with that in the past. And honestly, I think I like the result you get with the waxes better. And I really wanted to use the wax formula because people like it a lot and they feel this is easy to use. So let's compare that. Compare that to the original patina frame, patinated frame I have. Done? I think it is done. I think you wouldn't tell. I would be sure this is, if I didn't know what I did, I would think this is all metal. Yeah. Yes, exactly. This is what I meant. It's for better detail. It is for more sophisticated and more delicate, detailed look, right? So this looks like a completely natural metal object that started to have the patina finish. So I hope that is answering some of the questions, what you can do with these two colors of the matte wax, because this is option of creating fake and permanent look of the patina on your project. So that is something that it's really cool. Of course, you can wait until it is dry and you can continue. Like you can work on the shine of some of the objects a little bit more. In fact, once the matte wax is dry, it's not going to blend with the metallic anymore, and it's going to be it's going to be easier. If you would like to add something to finish, for example, you feel like, I would love a tiny the texture, I would go with either glass glitter or micro beads. Glass glitter is a bit more chunky, so it can add something interesting to the situation, or corresponding colors of the micro beads. Oh, like this, for example. So if you feel that you would like to add a tiny bit of kick, because now we have like pure metal, you can put a bit of the soft gloss gel, and now add maybe just a tiny bit of texture somewhere. And soft gel is going to stick to the wax. It's going to hold it, especially in the places where we have quite deep layers, so it's not possible to rub it off with your finger. You think it is easy? Like, after watching me doing this, what is your impression? Like, you would know how to do it now, right? Was that complicated to get that effect? Or you feel like this is like easy peasy? You're my, guinea pigs, because I was completely convinced this is something super easy to do. But sometimes I realize that I'm the only one who thinks like that. So, yeah, I would like to add the highlight to the focal point. So I'm going to now take off the excess. So I'm going to remove the ones which are a little bit too aggressive. And now I just want to make it a little bit more regal, you know, like, you know, it is just going to be catching the light a little bit more, because in a way, of course, this patina effect was perfect, but it is more or less the same thing everywhere. So for me, adding a bit of the touch like that, it is creating a bit of the interest inside of the focal point and around of the focal point. So it looks like maybe little jewels got crushed, and maybe it's some kind of flake in it. I hope you can see it. You always make it look easy and then I screw it up. Don't say that, Terry. This is not true. Ah, I know it is not as easy as you make it look. Well, Karen, remember, do it in steps. Yeah, it does look like actual metal and patina. And just to make a recap on it, okay? What you need to do, what are the possible options? Of course, for sure, you need the matte wax. Either green or blue or both, right? This is a must-have here. The second must-have is some kind of natural-looking metallic. So either brass or copper wax, or the option would be, I'm looking for the good color. I have my paints here, but they usually, come on, where are you? This one, or I don't see the second one, but for example, this acrylic paint, this is steampunk copper, right? So you could start with this acrylic. That is an option. You start with this or with this, right? You dry it completely. You put the layer of the waxes. I suggest bigger brush so you can get it thinner. You can rub off the excess and leave it, or you can put one more coat of the metallic wax to do shiny highlights. And of course, the more you put the shiny highlights, the more we have the effect where people rub off with the fingers. So in fact, it is like 3 steps. It's like 3 steps. Remember to use gesso before, so you will have everything nice and matte, so you can work on it without any problem. This is one annoying spot. I think I didn't put gesso there, and that's why it's annoying me now. Ah, go away. One problem with the finishing touches here is because patina is wax, you should also do the finishing touches with wax, because painting on the top of the wax with acrylic paint is almost impossible. Of course, I will take the photo of it, so tomorrow you're going to see the real color, but I think you can really see that we've got full metal look. Okay, so I leave it on the side. I guess there are no questions here, right? Like, I think this is very easy combination of the product. So this or this, this and this. It's 3 steps. And we are going to go and look at our patina paste. Okay? So on the patina paste, we can play a little bit differently because it is acrylic paint. So we can always repaint it if we don't like it as well. So the technique range is different. Here, we're very limited with what we can do with the wax. On the other one, we can go a little bit more crazy. I hope you know what I mean. You know what I mean, okay. So just to remind you, this is the look we can get with the patina paste. And we've got some metallic highlights, of course, but I also included some rust to make it look quite cool in this project. Because, in fact, if you look at the color palette, rust paste has the colors which are opposite side of the color palette to the patina. So they're going to look very nicely together. So this is a good point to remember. You can use 2 of them together on the project and they're going to look amazing. So now, this is what we have, background. It's painted 2 times. Just to remind you here, it is possible to paint 1 time, dry it, make it permanent, and then do the finishing touches such as highlights or using smaller brush and water to make the blend more natural and to make the look more soft. Now, technical break for tea. You don't know that, but I'm standing very close to the fireplace. So I already removed my socks and my shoes and maybe something more, but that will be oversharing. So I'm not mentioning what is happening here, but my husband really wanted me to be warm and I'm starting to sweat. Okay. We have it dry. I can feel it is even still warm from being close to the fireplace. 2 things. We can now get something metallic and finish that the same way as we did with our waxes, right? So we can rub on the top and then say it is finished. But I wanted you to see more of the fun. What are the options of the metallic? First of all, if you buy the set of the patina paste, there is metallic brass paste, which can be used to create effects easily. It can be also used with the stencil because it is nice and creamy consistency. So when you get this set, you already get your metallic in it and you don't need anything more. But of course you can use the waxes, the same thing that we used for matte waxes here, or you can use acrylic paint as well. These are all good options. But before we're going to do that, I will show you quite cool effects you can use, you can get if you are going to use the rust paste. So what I like to do in my project from time to time, it's combination of the rust and patina together. And this is like a demo panel I made during one of the live shows. And you can see the white crackle and you can see a piece of chipboard combined with the patina and the rust together. They're the same product, just in different color combination, so they work together without any problem. You can take the advantage of that if you want to get unique, special look. So to get similar result, that there may be different kind of metal on one project, and they are behaving in a different way. Some of them are getting rusty, some of them are getting patinated. You can just combine the rust paste and patina paste. The same story here. Remember when you take your paste out to check if it's fresh, and if it's not, to revive it with water or the fluid medium. I did it before and I overdid it. My red one is a little bit too liquid, but it's okay. It's still going to work really well. So what I do, and for example, this is the part of the class I'm teaching in person with the poetry of Patina. I show that you can use the rust as not only to blend, but also to add accents. So you can put it into places maybe which are not perfect, and instead adding more and more of patina, you can add contrasting color of the rust. Have you got any questions for that part? For this part of the process, maybe you want to know something more, because you're very quiet and I'm sometimes wondering if everything is clear and if you're having good time. I'm just trying to find again the most ugly brush I can find. Now this one is all in wax. Well, I'm not sure if you are still there. Okay, this one is very ugly. Thank you, Lori. So at least we have, yeah. So you can see I picked the most ugly brushes. On clogging a staple gun. Yeah, this is important. Staple gun. Oh my gosh. Look, after using the paste, they're going to be dead anyway. So I never throw away brushes like that because then they may be useful. I know, unclogging stuff is very important. So I keep them for this kind of project. I also have my sprayer, right? So that is going to be a bit of the fun. I think my chat froze. Is it? Yeah, it's frozen just a little bit. Now I have to go out and start again. Yeah, my chat got frozen. Opening up. I can see on my top camera, but not on my... Oh, now I can see. Not on my other screen. These tools are going to make miracles here. So the spray and the old brush. Oriana, this is so funny. Try not to touch the keyboard during thunderstorm, because I have the image of me electrocuted like the cartoon. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. They always say, don't touch anything. Yeah. So to make some contrast, we can play with our rust paste as well. And we can take this dark color and maybe use it as a shadow to create the look that it is combination of different colors of metal as well. But remember, this dries quickly. So whatever you do, you spray right away. This is important that you are going to use really dry before you are going to start spraying the water, because if it's not dry, this is going to be so dangerous and everything may come off, right? So remember to dry it. So just look. This is one of the ways of creating interesting contrast. So let's do the same thing on the bottom. You could see I take tiny bit on my brush and I try to put it into interesting parts, like in between of the embellishments. And then, in fact, precision is not so important because the water is going to take it into selected places easily. But don't wait. Do it quickly. Let it flow. Yeah, so this is so easy. Well, this is the result I really wanted to show you. And that's why I made two canvases, which are similar in the look, but they're going to have different coloring. So you're going to see what are the possibilities of using each of the product, because, you know, this is Patina and this is Patina. And of course you can rub a bit of that the rusty colors of wax as well, but it's not going to look like real rust. I'm sorry. Here, the textures are making the huge difference and the water flow is making huge difference. This is the result you can only get with water reacting product. That's why I believe this is pretty unique. Just a bit on your brush, not too much. I usually use browns and reds for that. Because yellow is more for highlights for making the rust, but and you can see I'm using my baby wipe if I have too much of the effect. Of course, I'm definitely more the past side. Yeah, this is completely different. They give you the results, but they are from different side of the scale. It's still the same, but yeah, same, but different, as some of my friends say. Same, but different. This is the advantage of the water reacting. And this is also a very good way of using your rust paste. If you're just doing the rust paste, this is something you can do. Also rust on the rust. Right? The drips. Of course, it doesn't look great until it is dry. So the most important thing is it's to dry it and from time to time and to check how much you have. Because on some point you realize that you really have enough and you don't need to do more because you just make it wet and wet and wet. Oh, you are so kind, Debbie. Thank you. Small amounts, exactly. This is so potent. Like, this has so much pigment in it. You can't go too heavy because it's going to overpower the patina color. You remember, now we are adding the interest instead of repainting completely. Now my cat is scratching the pole. She's so excited for some reason. So this is the unique part of the classes you get from home. You can hear my husband, my animals, and you get me without socks, for example, as well. Very, very cozy and very private. I have to tell you though, I only once did video in my pajamas because I was flying on that day and I didn't have energy left to really change especially for videotaping. And you could only see my sleeves, so nobody could even tell. Well, on some point, Unu, you have to stop, because if you don't stop, it's going to be completely rusted. So now you can see what I was trying to explain with the color palette. Colors of the rust are complementary to the colors of the patina. So together they look really amazing. And it's really worth it to combine these two color combinations. That's why when I have the class, I always show combination of two. And here as well, there are rust effects and there are patina effects in metallic. Oh, Terry, take first something, just element made with the mold. Just, decor. Something that has nice textures, and paint that. And try to play on it without the big project. Just to get more confident with the products. Once you get it right, you are not going to have any problem. You just... Yeah, I always make extra mold elements, so you can exercise on that, right? You can just take like wings or something bigger and try to put the effects, play with that, and see what happens. Now I want to show something to your attention. When you apply the colors, they look very bright. Yeah? But once they are drying, they're getting darker and they start to look matte, just like completely real rust. So you can do that with even these bright colors like yellow. And in fact, this mustard, English mustard yellow, is going to turn into like deep gold. So it's going to look natural. So you have opportunity to create textures that look absolutely like the natural rust that happens on the metal which is exposed to weather conditions. When I was creating this product, and this is important maybe for some of you, I really wanted to create something unique that was not on the market yet. And I noticed that what was usually missing, it was the crumbliness of the rust. So I tried to combine the look of the paint with the look of this texture paste, because this is how rust looks like in real life. Right? I just hope you can see it. I'm trying to hold it closer and in focus. But you can see it's a caked, flaky rust. Combination of patina and the rust paste. Very, very simple to do. As you can see, it was just a tiny brush in the water. And now, after this is done, of course, we close our jars tightly. We don't want this to dry, so we close it. And now we can do the metallic finishing touches. Again, to create the effect that somebody was trying to clean off the patina paste, or the patina. Somebody was using that, touching that a lot. So, for example, we can use the paste. I just usually use it like wax, although it's acrylic, but you can now touch with your finger and highlight those details which are important in our composition. So they're not going to be completely lost. Of course, you can do it with the brush if you want more of the highlighting. I'm just going to show you both ways. This is acrylic, so you can use it like acrylic paint. I'm taking some water now. And I'm just dry brushing. Well, dry brushing means I need to dry it. Yes, you just give it a try, and you know, give it chance. Don't be afraid so much. Just let it go and try to feel the product. So you can see I'm getting results which are quite similar to the results with the waxes as well. But here you can also use the water if you want to. Jaguniu, taka jesteś kochana kotka, tak? Co tam robisz? O, śliczna kicia. Śliczna kicia. Sorry, I'm talking to my cat, telling her she's the most beautiful cat. The most beautiful little girl. Yeah. So this is what we got. Let's compare. Of course, this step can be done with the wax, as I told you. Whatever you have in hand. If you have the set of the Patina paste, you get already this brass color. So you can use it together without any problem. Maybe now, after this, you're going to be a little bit more brave with the Patina. Yeah, Oriana is right. These colors for the ocean or marine inspired projects are great. So you should completely and absolutely try that. In fact, I was thinking for a moment about making the mermaid today, but I decided to go for something more steampunk-like. So, quick recap. After gesso, we put 2 colors of Patina paste. We dry it. Patina paste with water to get better coverage and nicer effect. We dry it. And then we add finishing touches. For example, metallic paste or rust paste with water and a small brush. That was it. Of course, gesso before anything else. So let's compare these two. You can see this one has a lot of texture anyway because of the gritty paste. You can see the textures that happened because of the sand in the Patina paste and the rust paste. So if you have very tiny details, for example, here on the top there was word art, you can't see it anymore. But here on the big one, it looks very grungy and rusty. So this one is big enough to be visible. Tiny ones, almost gone. So keep that in mind. It all depends on what amount of detail you have on your project. Now, the second one, the one that we made with waxes, it is very smooth and looks very similar to natural, very much like the natural. This is more fantasy, crazy patina look, like something on the edge of possibility. Very nice in the color, and this is very subtle, very much like imitation of the real metal, right? So you can get these two results depending which products you're applying. Almost the same composition. I really tried to make it as similar as possible, and you get completely different look. Well, not completely, because it's still patina, but one is like natural looking patina and the other one is like the crazy, more fantasy looking patina. And you know, you could see the steps you are taking. They're not too complicated. There are not too many of them, so it's not like you have to wait. And I will just talk about that for a moment as well, because this is one of the informations that are important. So when I was creating the first set, the rust, I intentionally was looking for the product which would be imitation of the rust. So I was trying to create something from scratch, because there are some products which help you create the real rust on the objects. So there will be some chemical reactions happening, and it's great, especially when you are really looking for super natural rust effect. But the problem is the waiting time sometimes. So you have to wait until the reaction is happening. And also the second thing, not always the results are predictable. So it is great, but the second thing is you can't make it on every surface. It's hard to get that reaction on the paper, especially delicate paper, because you have to put the paste which contains metal, then put some chemicals, and it may affect the project. Here, I was going for something which is like acrylic paint. So in fact, it is a cousin of acrylic paint, a cousin of texture paste, and it is fake, it's imitation, but because of that, it goes on every surface. You just use the gesso first. And also, so it goes on the keyboard, it goes on the metal, glass, whatever, because it's like paint. You don't have to worry about that part. And the texture and the colors are up to you. I think I would really, maybe next month, I will do video about rust paste, or maybe a live stream about rust paste, and I will explain what are the good ways of creating rust paste effects, because it's a very versatile product. And the same for the patina. It works the same way. You can use both colors together, or just one, or in combination. They're the same family. Yeah, exactly. Debbie is right. Waxes is like indoor patina and household objects. You know, the ones which are precisely made. And this one is more outdoor look, the one that caked, flaky effects. What is about matte waxes? Matte waxes, of course, they are adding antiquing effect. So they are more precise. They are going into more natural look. And of course, both finishes are permanent. So this is really up to you which look you need for your project at this moment. So I hope that was, you know, giving you some ideas. I will try to show my face. I promise I have my clothes on. So guys, really, you have options, right? Crazy look. This is very similar look to the one that we were creating in the class. So Patina Poetry, the one that I was showing you. Of course, you can just do parts of your project with these techniques. It's really up to you. The important message for you is make sure your paste is wet all the time, which means when you open the jars with the rust paste or patina paste, check if the consistency is right. If not, add warm water or the fluid medium. When you finish work, do the same thing, spray some water inside, stir it and let it go. Just spray on the top and close tightly. And then after few months, if okay, or weeks, depending where you live, if it's hot and dry, maybe after a month or two, check your paints, check your pastes and do the same thing. It takes 10 minutes, but you can save yourself tons of money if you know that the things are drying up on you. So you can just keep them in the best condition. The second option, of course, waxes. These are the ones that you can store basically for years. It takes a long time for them to dry, and some of them are even too wet, people say, so you can let them dry intentionally a bit. And the only problem with them is they may melt if you put them into very hot weather. So on the new packaging, we mentioned that we should probably not store them in the temperature over 32 degrees. So that means not close to the heater, not close to not in the direct sunlight. So they're not going to get more wet and melted. So if you get this effect, maybe your waxes are just overheated. Put them in the fridge for, you know, half an hour, so they're going to get solid. And also, of course, if they are leaking, and I heard that happened with some of the colors of the matte waxes, because there was this pigment which was separating from the wax in the warmer weather, just leave them open for some time so they can dry up a bit. So the consistency is going to be easier to work with. It's not a fault in the product, really. It's just what happens sometimes when you have the production. Some of them will be a little bit more dry, some of them a little bit more moist. And, you know, I prefer to have them moist because I can always dry them. No, it's not really a big problem. When you will have the ones in the tubes are going to be easier when it comes to blending, because just to remind you, you have to squeeze them out to get the product. So that means when you squeeze them out, at the same time, if there's any separation, it's going to blend with each other. It's going to, you can even, you know, move the tube a little bit to make sure that everything is coming together nicely, and then squeeze out. So this is one of the reasons we created the tubes, just to make it more user-friendly for people. So I hope you can see why, because sometimes the separations look scary and people think the product is wasted. No, it is not. It's just natural thing, and you have to mix it back into the natural look. Have you got any questions? Did you enjoy it? Like, was it fun? I was trying to make something between project and class about the product. Was that a good formula, or would you just prefer to have a project like we did with this brush when I was showing you some techniques with this brush? That was fun. Okay. So that worked. That was not too boring. I was thinking, if you compare, it is something that is going to give you some serious knowledge as well. And at the same time, we are finishing quite nice, quite pretty project as well. You know, one of the things I'm trying to do when I make videos about new products is to just show how they work, what you can do. And then I realized people never go to YouTube and they never watch that, and then they forget and they just don't see these videos anymore. And then they keep asking the same questions, because it's always somebody new picking the product, and then they are wondering, oh, where should I look? And And it's there already. So I've never done the comparison video though, so you are very special. Just to remind you, tomorrow, hopefully in the evening, once I'm back from Dublin, we should be doing the giveaway. So I will give you a shout. And I will be hopefully able to announce what was my master plan with the special gift, like a special surprise for the patrons of 25 and 50 euro. So you are included. And I hope you will like that idea. I made some arrangements already, and in the close future there will be a bit of surprises coming. Yes, we're going to Dublin. We're going to have a look at something which possibly we're going to buy. So we're going to see what happens. Dublin is now a bit in the stressful situation because government is mentioning that maybe they're going to lock down the Dublin area because this is where the most of the cases are. So they're not too happy. But in general, Ireland is not in big danger comparing to what it was in the beginning. We're not doing bad. So we're not really that much concerned. Of course, everybody is following the rules and it's all about safety and so on. But I think people stopped panicking so much. This is really great. They just, take deep breath and they know what to do. So this is a bit reassuring, especially I know for older people. Here it made huge difference because they feel respected. Like they feel that they can go shopping, they can be outside without feeling that they are in danger. So this is great. And so if I'm going to buy this thing, I will show you later. This is something that it's a big surprise for me myself. Maybe it's going to work, maybe not. Like, I just don't know how it's going to look in real life. So it's always pretty on the photos, right? When you buy things, they are pretty on the photos, but in real life, they are not so pretty, for example. Cindy, yeah, I can see how to use the other texture in the blue purple. Yeah, they are more for fantasy playing, so I can think about project and show you how you can use them for your advantage as well. That may be a good idea. I just try to think which colors I have. The brush canvas. Oh, yeah, I love them. Honestly, I love making canvases with the objects on them as well. But next time, you have to be a little bit less shy letting me know what you want me to do. Because, for me, it's much easier if you give me some hints, because I don't really know what people are interested in. Like, I can do a lot of things, and if you give me some options, like, some ideas, it's much easier to start my thinking process because I can focus on something like here. I think Vasily said, let's do the patina. And I said, okay, but patina is boring. What we can do to make it more interesting? And that's why I came with the concept, let's compare two different kinds of making patina so you see the difference. So you don't be shy. This is part of your package. You can tell me what to do. So all these hints about all these that you would like to see the Rust-based application, or you would like to see the other colors of the fantasy textures applications. This is giving me the idea, the concept, how to show it to you in a cool way. So sometimes I think you're a bit too shy. And I'm so grateful for all the contact. And as some of you know me in person, that I don't bite and I'm really friendly, and I really want everybody to have good experience. So if you have any questions, let me know. Too much to choose from. and think, well, I feel the same. Like, what should I do? People don't know what they want until they want it. True. This is very much true. Yes, we have to see some things. We have to touch them, smell them to see what we want. You would like to see a project with the Northern Light set because I think people don't realize how amazing it is. And that is a good challenge. Yeah? So next time I will try to do live stream a little bit later. So I will be maybe starting at 7 p.m. because I know for some of you this timing is going to be a bit better when it comes to family matters. And also I'm considering switching them to Saturdays because as one of the ladies said, like for New Zealand and Australia, this is Monday, early morning, and they would love to be with us here, and they can't because they have to go to work, and this is not working for them when it comes to the day. So I'm really thinking maybe we can do Saturdays. I was trying to avoid Saturdays because a lot of ladies takes part in the YouTube hops or the events which are organized together, and I didn't want to clash with that. But on the other hand, I can see the point of ladies from Australia and New Zealand that for them it is not possible to watch any single stream live because they are they are early morning on Monday. So not really great timing. Let me know what you think. How often we would get interrupted with the other live streams happening on Saturday, because I know some of you take part in the Saturday events, and I would not like you to get into the situation when we have to pick and choose, and so on. Yes, Mia. Yes, of course you may suggest something. Saturday is good for Ilona as well, okay? And for Karen is okay. Okay, no, you are not going every weekend now, I noticed. Oriana likes Sundays. You know, I just try not to clash with the situation with you, but if I have to do the time, it will be around evening time, so we can cover most of the time zones. So it will be happening around 7 p.m. of my time. I can do 8 p.m. of my time because I don't go to bed until late. But then I know for some people it is going to be start at 9 or 10 p.m. So then I'm not sure how they're going to feel about that. Maybe I will make a poll in the Facebook group, and then to see what is going to be like the best day. Nuno, I know that you are flexible and you are lovely, but I just don't want to clash with anybody else. Okay, Mia, I would like to see combination of different colors of metallic or opal magic mixed together. I have all colors of paints, but I'm always afraid to try out mixing and waste my products. Okay, this is good topic to show on the project how you can use different colors. Like you could see a bit of the opal magic. It was mica, but in fact you can get similar results with the paints as well. On the horse I was doing for the magical toy shop, challenge. By the way, huge congrats on all the beautiful projects in the magical toy shop. I think this topic was great because so many creative and beautiful toys showed up in the internet in the last 2 weeks. I'm mind blown. Um, okay, later at night is always calmer. Like I don't go to bed until like 1 a.m. anyway, so it is okay. Nunu made very beautiful project. Yes, the I think I said it's open until 1st of October. So if you are still working on it, go for it because it is something that you can always show. It just you just post on Instagram or in the group on Facebook, so I can search through the hashtag and be able to give away prizes. So it's great. And I just admire how creative people are. I was hoping that they were going to think outside of the box and they're going to look for different options, different toys, and that happened. So there are altered toys, altered dolls, there are altered cars, trucks. No, there's no album for them. It's for everybody. So if you post on Facebook, you just use the hashtag, or if you put on your Instagram, you use the hashtag magical toy shop, and I will find it. This is the challenge like for everybody, not just for patrons. So I will be looking through everybody's submissions, of course, but I'm just thinking maybe I should do one extra special prize just for patrons in our group as well. So maybe I will see what I can get, and maybe I will be like one for patrons, two for everybody. Oh, you got overwhelmed with the magical toy shop. Oh, why? They are so fun. Like, you don't need to feel any pressure, Debbie. It is whatever you have on hand, and you've got lovely nephews in your family, and maybe there are some toys that they would just like to say goodbye to, and you can use that. I really seen great ideas in there, and that only reminds me that we've got crazy amounts of creativity in us, and once you start the process, if people have time to think what they can do, they can make really surprising, really cool art. And of course, some of these will be more delicate and sweet, some of them will be very magical, and some of them will be dark and scary. It's all okay. It is magical toy shop, so you just do with the toy whatever you like. And yeah, don't get overwhelmed. Just do it for yourself. If you don't have to even fit in the deadline. If you feel you would like to do it, do it. You don't have to show anybody. Just show to me and maybe to some other friends. See, Oriana was overwhelmed as well, but she already found an idea. This is good thing. Like, you can use basically anything. Do it for pleasure, exactly like Nunu said. Do it for yourself. This is not, I always tell that competitions are only happening within us. Like, if it's a competition, try to compete with yourself. Try to compete with yourself. Try to find a way to create something different or something special, something dear to your heart. Don't compete with others, because it's not going to be even a beauty contest. It is, when I make these challenges, I intentionally do like random drawing. So even somebody who is a beginner can have a chance to win. And I think this is absolutely great, because you should not do it for prizes. I know some people do it for prizes, but you should just do it for yourself because you feel like you want to do it. And then in fact, your prize is the finished project. That's what I think. I never took part for prizes because I was never believing I can win something. I was never lucky. Yeah, I didn't see properly all the photos of the sword because I could just scroll quickly through it, but I want to see the details. It looks like fairy tales magician sword, and I really want to see that now in person. So Debbie, if you feel like doing it, you have my full support. You take your time, but if you just decide this is not for you, no pressure. Remember, no pressure. So, oh, Vasily, you are here. And yeah, in the end, everything is a toy. I think the car Ilona did was really cool because she took very simple shape. That this car was very plain, but it was handmade, so it was beautiful. And then she added her personality to it. She added the details, and it turned into completely different thing. I just realized like we have not so beautiful background here, but you have to forgive me. Oh, no worries, Vasily. We're going to see you tomorrow anyway because I'm going to do the giveaway, hopefully in the evening when I'm back from Dublin. I hope it's not going to be too late. And you can watch. I did 2 ways of patina. Patina like this with the pastes and rust, and patina like this with Womaxes. So now you can see how it was all done. I'm uttering it all but finding very challenging. I regret my choice, but yeah, you know, don't feel the pressure like Mia. See what happens. Some of the dolls, they're not so easy to alter because of the shape or the things are small. So you have to take your time with them. It's sometimes easier with something which is not so detailed when you do it the first time. But you know, it's fun and it's experience. That's what I think. Next time you have more of the ideas. Okay? So guys, thank you so much for the lovely evening or the beginning of the day, depending where you are. I can see I'm all shiny and hot. So thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow I'll be in the group trying to do the bag giveaway. And I hope now you are going to get inspired to use patina paste and to experiment with the matte waxes. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. I'm so hot here. Well, see, small doll that Dunel made, she was 3 days. Yeah, so it's better to just take it slowly. Bye. You need a goodie bag, yes. I know. Where is that? Here. Yeah, here. And